Hello and welcome to Level Up and Friends, where those of us from the video game and comic book store Level Up Entertainment get together with some friends each week and have different conversations. This week we're just going to make it nice and simple. We're just going to talk about what we're playing right now. The reason we're kind of taking it easy is we just opened our second location in Summers Point, New Jersey, and boy, are my arms tired. So, we're going to do one that doesn't require a lot of preparation. We're just going to casually chat about what we're doing. So anyway, I'm Scott, and joining me, I've got John.
Hi.
We got Kendall.
Hello.
And we got Joseph.
Hi, that's me.
Hi. Yes, we're all here now. So I think we're playing a pretty wide selection of games at the moment. I think Joey and I will go first because we seem to be the only ones playing the most recent games. The game I've been playing the most right now is new Pokemon Snap. The 20 plus year later sequel to the N64 classic. It's a pretty good game. I don't know if any of you guys have, if you guys even played the original Snap? Like, I know John, you haven't,
No.
right? Yeah.
In Toys R Us.
Yeah.
No, a little too young for that.
Just this. And going Jigglypuff.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it back in the day. It's a really short game. There was only 63 Pokemon, which is ridiculous because if they added one more because it's on the N64. But what's nice about the new one, there's like over 200 of them. So let me get the positive ones out of the way. The selection of Pokemon in it are great. They hit almost every single one of my favorites, which is impressive. The graphics and it's the original game, just like so much more. However, a lot of stuff in it is kind of annoying. Like moment to moment, the game's a lot of fun. However, it's got a lot of archaic decisions that are like really quite annoying. And the fact that it doesn't have like integrated social media sharing, like it's got its own little social media like sharing thing in it, but it's like you should be able to like send this stuff out to Twitter and Facebook with the push of a button, stuff like that with like, then it'll tag it, hashtag it so people can share it. But it's a good game. I've been struggling with the question of like, should I recommend it to someone? And I'm like, I'm not sure if it falls where it falls. It depends on how much you like the concept to begin with. And like, I don't know. It's a little bit of a tough nut to crack. I think it should have been a budget title. I think it should have been like $40 or $50 and not a full 60. But this is Nintendo, so it'll never go down in price.
You said about a lot of Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Out or as a recent.
But overall, I put 15 hours into it so far. I quote unquote beat it because I like got to the credits, but like after you do that, it unlocks like hidden legendary Pokemon and everything in every stage. So I haven't found all of them. Like there's still a lot of Pokemon I'm discovering in it, which is really cool. I don't like how you have to level up the routes. Like I feel like you're playing the same ones like over and over again. And I get it's essentially like a high score game, but I don't know. It's a little annoying like in that regards, but it's been really nice to kind of fit into what I need to do to play video games at the moment, which is like I pick it up for like a couple of minutes in between watching TV shows, just as like a way to wind down after the stress of working at getting the new store set up and stuff. So it's a really good chill game, and it kind of came out at the right time for me. Overall, I guess I'd give it a thumbs up, but I don't know if I'd give it like a really strong recommendation. But yeah, so that's Snap for me. Joey, I know you're playing the new Isaac, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. If anyone's listened to previous podcasts, the biggest thing I was looking forward to, game-wise or surprise-wise, was The Binding of Isaac having its final DLC, which was supposed to come out in December, like the end of December, beginning of January. Well, it came out on April Fool's Day. It added like 200 some odd more achievements. So I went from having about 93% done in the game on Steam to about, where am I at now? 70 something. So I have 460 out of 637, and I played the game like 4,800 hours. which is a little bit much, and it sounds very excessive. But I've been playing it since 2018, so it's not as crazy when you learn it that way. But what it is it's a DLC where they added a modded game like someone made. It's called Anti-Birth. Someone made it. It was really popular, really well done. They met up with the same guys that made Isaac and added the DLC to it. So there's extra levels, extra characters. It's gone from, I think you can get up to like 34 characters now. It's a little harder. Weapons are different. So it's like learning the game all over again. So it's fun. I really like it. I was playing it before the podcast after I got off of work. So it's just one of those games I'm playing, and I can recommend it if you enjoy like roguelike games. So every time you play it, it's going to be a different game. So you're not always going to get the same weapons. The rooms aren't going to be the same layout. The bosses aren't going to be the same. So it's always different. So it's always a game that I can pick up, 40 minutes at a time, and it's completely different every single time. So it doesn't get stale to me, which I like. It's just something about the game that like registered in my brain that I really like playing. There's a lot of other stuff I've like dabbled in here and there. Like I was telling Scott earlier, I used to stream regularly with a group of friends of ours, PPG. There's many a video throughout and pictures through Level Up's days of us being a group. Just this past Monday was the first night we all got together in like 2 years because of, all being vaccinated and stuff. So I started playing, the games I used to always play, the old Nintendo games that I just played on repeat every week. So ask me again next week and I'll probably be talking about Isaac and then Mega Man and, all those games. Wizards and Warriors, the games that everyone talks about. People are beating down the doors to play Wizards and Warriors.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been playing lately. I still got to christen the new store by playing Wizards. Yes. I have not done that yet.
Yeah, we need to get an NES and the game in there. That's just all we're waiting for.
I'll just bring mine.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Well, by the time you guys listen to this podcast, it will already have happened. But so you can come watch and play Wizards and Warriors. Kendall, what are you playing?
Exciting.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, what am I playing? So I've recently picked up the Nintendo Switch port of the PlayStation 2 game Disgaea, which is like a strategy RPG that's just taking all the anime tropes and just making fun of it. It's like a wild game. I played it when it first came out on PS2. Got to some level I couldn't beat, gave up on it, and then just decided to pick it up a couple months ago.
Yeah, so I know that this Disgaea series, because we've known each other a long time, is always one of those games you talk about, but you're oh, you love all these elements, but it seems like the gameplay always holds you back on it.
Yeah, I mean, strategy RPGs, especially when I was younger, were not my favorite. I played, I think the first one I ever played was this game Vandal Hearts, and just I don't know, they're it was a similar thing. You get to a stage and it's just so much harder than the stage right before it, and it's there's probably some trick of beating this, but I don't know it, and there's no effective way to I don't even know if you could grind in that game.
I mean,
but yeah,
it's a strategy game. You straight up have to get good.
Yeah, so there's never anything that was super interesting to me. Or rather, I was interested, I would just get lost. But the PSP release of Final Fantasy Tactics kind of turns me around on the the genre. I don't know if it's because it's handheld or what it is about it.
There's some genres I think work better in handheld form versus like console. Like I prefer RPGs in handheld because I feel like I can pick them up, play them for like a little bit, and then move on with my life. Like I've been playing Snap almost entirely in handheld mode, which sucks because I have Joy-Con drift really bad and it keeps screwing up my pictures. But that's not the game's fault. That's Nintendo shifting.
Yeah, I got the
things.
drift too.
Yeah. I have a controller I can use. It's so much less convenient in handheld mode. But yeah, so it's cool that you're getting into this guy. Have you caught up to where you were on PS2 yet?
Oh yeah, I'm in like the post. So Disgaea is like it has a story mode, but that's only like I could say that's half the game, but it's really like a quarter of the game. Like it's like like there's all this like post game stuff, and your level can go up to 9,999, and just like it's
Just get super OP.
Yeah. Because doesn't it have like a random dungeon crawler element, like a roguelike? That's like what the meat of the game is.
Yeah. So there's a function called the item world, and like you can go like if you want to power up the sword you're using, you like talk to this person and they send you inside of the sword, and there's just like 1,000 randomly generated like dungeons in your sword, and it's crazy.
Well, it is anime tropes turned up to 11.
Yeah, you like power up your weapons, you power up your character's level, you power up your skills. Yeah. And like all the attacks are ridiculous. You like grab a meteor out of the sky and like ride it down into your enemies, and
I mean
it's just wild, crazy anime stuff.
I mean, that's all good. Yeah, John, I think you might be playing the oldest game of all of us right now.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us what you've been playing? Because I know everyone's excited to talk about it.
I have been playing Zelda Link to the Past on the Nintendo Switch, but it's for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I was about to say, you were literally just playing it when we were getting together to record this. I heard you playing it, and then you had to hit pause.
Yeah, I was playing a little bit, like for about 2 hours now. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely a great game, and I know it's Joe's favorite Super Nintendo game.
It's right there.
It's definitely
one or two.
Yeah, and it's definitely a game, Scott. I would say like you gotta come back to.
I know,
especially on the Switch. It's really good.
To it. It's one of those games like every time I don't connect with it, which is weird because I'm a big Zelda guy. But like every time I do play it, I do get like a dungeon or two farther, but then I just lose interest. I don't know what it is.
No,
but it's exciting to hear because I think Super Nintendo was discontinued by the time like well before you were born. So it's cool that it's cool that like you're still connecting with it, because I know we were talking in the store and like your first experience with Zelda was Breath of the Wild, right?
It was, yeah. That was my first run with the Zelda, pretty much by choice, because I remember when Skyward Sword came out and like I had like no interest to play it. I loved Mario Kart on the Wii, and that was all I needed. So Zelda wasn't really like anything I was interested in. And then Link Between Worlds came out on the 3DS, and then I think they remade Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but never had any desire to play those. And then lo and behold, Breath of the Wild's trailer got launched, and I was like, I have to play this game. Like, I was so hyped for it, and I wound up buying it on the Wii U, and it is my favorite game of all time, I think. I'm almost certain that it is.
Yeah, I know you picked that as your game of the year in 2017. I think that was your first year with the store too.
No, 2018 was.
Okay.
But if I was working,
I know a lot of people.
It would.
A lot of people picked that as game of the year. I just remember like everyone but me picked it because I'm sure Mario Odyssey. What made you decide to start playing Link to the Past?
Okay. Funny enough, Joe. Me and Joe got to talking about, I think it was the night we were cleaning up the Summers Point store that Friday night. We got to talking about it. I was like, man, like I have to play this game because like I was listening to the Super Nintendo podcast that you guys had done like a while back, and Joe was talking a bunch about Link to the Past, and it was a game that was always on like my radar to play. Like I've always had it like in the back of my head, like I want to play this. Because I've been going back and playing like a bunch of Zelda games. Like I played Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. I played the original Zelda game on the Switch with the NES online system, and I finally got around to playing this one now because Joe hyped it up for me, and it does not disappoint. It's really really good. I just recently beat the third and fourth dungeon in the Dark World. So that's the Skullwoods and then the Gargoyles dungeon, I think.
Dark Palace. Are you over where Eastern was? Like the first dungeon you go to?
No, it's the one in like the Lost Woods kind of area,
yeah,
that third and fourth one. Yeah, so I think I have like 3 more to go, at least according to the map I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because it's kind of what set the basic Zelda formula where you do 3 dungeons, get the Master Sword, and then I think it's like usually like 7 more. So if you beat the third and fourth dungeon in that second half, you got like 3 more to go, which I don't think includes like the last one where you fight Ganon at the spoiler alert, you fight Ganon.
No, like
yeah, but it's a game from I love.
Aganon.
Yeah. Do you Ganon's the bad guy in Zelda for you yet?
I think we lost you, Scott.
I'm back.
He's back.
Yeah. Yeah, like so in the plot, has it been revealed that like Aghanim's working for Ganon yet?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure that I think so.
Yeah. Well, it's a 30-year-old game, so. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it might be more than 30. No, 30 years ago it was 1991.
What was it?
It was almost 91.
Okay.
Yeah, 91's when the Super Nintendo came out, and I know it wasn't a launch title, which I know Super Mario World was, and I think that's the other game you've been playing, right?
Yeah. I've been kind of going through I've been going through a little bit of a couple of the Super Nintendo games that are on the Switch because they're all really good. I can't say they're really missing much, but Super Mario World is really fun too. It's just a fun, good platformer to just kind of kill some time with.
How much experience have you had with the old Mario games?
The original one I played a little bit, but honestly, like not much. Like I played like the Mario Galaxy games. New Super Mario Bros. On the DS was like my intro to that like 2D kind of platformer Mario game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say I think everyone's got some experience with Mario.
Kind of like my start now.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. It's cool that you're going back to that, and it's nice to know that that stuff holds up. You know, because that's one of the things like when we talk about old games.
It does for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the things we talk about when we do discussions about the older games that we played as kids. It's like, you know, how much of like Ocarina of Time is nostalgia, or like, do people like Final Fantasy VII so much just because it's the first Final Fantasy game they played, versus like, how is it actually compared to like other RPGs? I know that's the question we always have. Like Kendall, I know you love Final Fantasy VII, and like I like it quite a bit, but I don't hold it in as high esteem as like a lot of people do. And I'm kind of like that with Ocarina of Time as well, even though I beat it like 10 million times when I was a kid. But just, you know,
I have not beaten any of the 64 Zelda games, but I never really liked the 64.
You never liked the 64.
Nah, never did.
The only Zelda game I beat was Link to the Past.
No, really? Because I know you're not a big Zelda game guy. I guess I guess me and John are the only ones here who haven't beaten A Link to the Past. I don't know, like, but like you're probably gonna beat it before I do, John.
I would say like by the end of like next week, hopefully it'll be done, depending on if all goes well.
Yeah, I'm saying
because I usually take my time with like these games.
Well, I'm just talking to you the last couple of days, like at work and stuff, just chit chatting. Like every time I talk to you, like beat like 2 more dungeons, so you're like cruising along.
Yeah, I say that, but I'll probably be done by like Friday or something like that.
Well, that's fine.
I've been picking games that like don't take that long to play, only because like I got school and like it's final, so like I enjoy playing like games that like are like 8 to 15 hours. You just sit, play for a little bit, and then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's the thing I find, like, as being like a 30-year-old responsible enough adult, where it's like I just don't have time. Like I used to love RPGs and like, oh man, I can't wait to grind for like 100 hours in this and like this Dragon Quest game and all this stuff. It's just like I just don't have time. I need games that I can like beat and play, like, and move on. Which is why like something like Snap's pretty good for now. Like the other thing I've been sort of playing is I've been holding out, trying to go back into like a Stardew Valley like hole. But I've finally been catching up with.
I have to get back into that game.
I've finally been catching up with all the content they added in like patch 1.5, and they had so much stuff to it. And like once you start getting back in the rhythms of that game, like it just sucks you in. Like now I can unlock a movie theater and like there's a whole new island to explore and like I can build like a resort and stuff. And like so I get all these cool new interactions with all the characters. Like it's just one of those things. It's like, oh my God, it just keeps going. Like that's game, the more time you put in, the more it gives back to you. But it's another like really chill game. It's just my problem with it is to save, you have to like go to bed. So then like once you wake back up, I just go back into my routine for the day. And then at certain points, like, well, I already started putting time into this. So like, let me do, like, it's just one of those things. But I went back to my first farm and I forgot how like huge and like efficient I made it. So it's like, oh my God, I've got like 40 cows and like all of these things like happening at once. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it was kind of overwhelming to go back to because I made like a dozen farms since then. Just because I start to do like other things. Like I made one that's based on like Link to the Past. Because I made my farmer look like Link and like I'm like not talking to anybody. And then I got a pig and I named him Ganon. My horse is Epona. So I'm kind of using like stuff that looks like the sprites from those games. But so I have like cobblestone paths and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Just you find your fun where you can make it sometimes. But like there's all kinds of mods and stuff because I play on PC. There's all kinds of mods and stuff you can get into. Like I could literally make it look like Zelda. But there's like actual like sword play and like adventuring and stuff in the game too. But yeah, that's a game that's always good, no matter that's a game I wholeheartedly recommend to anyone. It's also like $15. So it's a little bit easier to swallow than a $60 release.
I don't think those type of games are my like cup. I like John was saying, the shorter games are my like cup. Like I call them my like Tony Hawk games. Because when I was a kid in school, we come home from school and I had to go to work, but I had like 30 minutes. So I'd put in Tony Hawk and play in the warehouse and do a couple tricks. And then I go to work and then I come home and maybe I do it again before I had to do homework. And so it was like, that was my gaming for a while. And now even like into my adulthood, like when I stream, I literally play, of all the Mega Mans that I play and I can beat easily, it's Mega Man 1, which is like the shortest of them all. There's less Robot Masters, less Wily levels. I play Wizards and Warriors, which I can beat in like 15 minutes. Like all my stuff is just like short because it's like I only have that finite amount of time. Now then I talk about Isaac and next thing I know I'm like Scott with Stardew Valley and I'm playing for 3 hours and I'm like, what am I doing? I gotta stop. And the next thing I know, it's 4 a.m. and I'm like, well, I should go to bed because I got to go to work in the morning. But sometimes that can happen.
Yeah, that was my problem with Stardew Valley when it first came out. I put like 100 hours in that first week and I'm like, I got a problem. But like, it's one of those things like once I kind of reached like because they've been rolling out like free content updates for the years as the game's been out. So like once I kind of reached the end of it, like I'm able to kind of pull back, but I kind of jumped back in. But like I remember when I discovered like in the base game, even like I put like so much time into it, and then I was like scrolling around the wiki. I'm like, oh my God, I can hatch the dinosaur eggs I find and have dinosaurs on my farm. I'm like, oh my God, there's a secret casino. I had no idea. Like there's so much to find and discover in that game.
And then you got to go back.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, now I got to go do it. So, But no, yeah, they keep adding so much. It's a game that keeps giving. I love it. It's I don't know. I just bought the board game version. I need to play that. I need to get my vaccine so I can have people come over. But I really am desperate to play that. But which is fun because that's going to be like a cooperative game, and like looking at it, like each character you play, like each farmer you play as is like a different speciality. Like one person's a miner, one person's a farmer, one person's a fisherman, one person's a forager, which is all like skills you can level up in the game. So yeah, I'm stoked to play it also because I really love cooperative board games. But I got it just because it's like it's all the art and it looks really great, and like I'm, it's a game that I've really enjoyed over the last couple of years. Probably like one of my top games of the last decade. I know I did top whatever games of the 2010s on our website, so I guess check that out. I can't remember what all is on it. I know Rock Band 2 is on there because that was one of like the more interesting picks. But yeah, so those are the things I'm playing right now. I don't think there's anything I'm particularly like hyped up to get. I know I want to get that new Turtles beat 'em up game, but like I can wait, Like Kendall, you and I have talked about like Turtles in Time. Like we played it so much. Like that is my favorite Super Nintendo game. Because I think you and I can beat it on hard in about 10-ish minutes.
Yeah.
So this game, everyone. Yeah, that's the trick is you just get good at throwing people, it instantly kills them.
Way to do it.
But the new one looks like more of that, which is going to be good. But yeah, is anyone playing anything else right now? We want to talk about?
I'm gonna play Link to the Past after this podcast now. But I'm gonna play a randomizer. So
yeah, I know you and Katie have been doing randomizer stuff. Have you guys been streaming that or just playing it for fun?
Just playing it. I streamed it a few times during the pandemic, but not many. I just I've beaten Link to the Past numerous times. So mixing it up and doing something different is just kind of brings new life to it. It's like playing Isaac. It's a new game every time. So
yeah, it turns the randomizers are cool because they turn the old games into like roguelikes basically.
Yeah, and you just have to so you find like in the beginning of Link to the Past in Link's house you find the lamp. You start it might not be the lamp, it might be the fire rod, and then you can go forward from there. So it changes it up all the time, but you still need you can still set it where you still need to, beat the 7 dungeons and save all the princesses and yada, 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 and face a giant pig. So
that's fine. That's my most
that actually sounds kind of cool though.
That's my most wanted character for Smash Brothers is that version of Ganon. And I know Kendall, you and I keep playing Smash Brothers, so that's the thing that's still happening.
I've never stopped. I have like a crew I play with like every week.
Such a good game.
It is so fun.
It is. I've just recently started really getting into it. It's so good.
I love it. And like this same group of friends, one of them had the Wii U version. Mm-hmm. So even before Ultimate, we'd all go to this dude's house and just hang out, play Smash Brothers Wii U. Such a fun game.
Yeah. Who's your main?
Who's your main? Yeah.
My main, so I've been getting pretty dang good with Meta Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which my main has always been Kirby.
I
feel like I'm not straying too far.
Yeah. I can attest to that back in the Melee days. We played a lot of that in high school.
Oh yeah. It's a great funny game.
Yeah. Say who you playing?
Yeah.
Sephiroth.
Oh yeah.
My Sephiroth is okay. I'm not great at the game, but I have a friend, a good friend of mine who plays, and he's really good at Smash, and he's been teaching me and showing me basically the basics of the game. And there's so many good characters. Joker is really good. I think Sephiroth is top tier too. But I know if you're really good with Ness, you can get really good Pikachu, even Peach. But for me, like Sephiroth and like some of his like tilt attacks, they're just like pretty good to use, and he's easy for like beginners. So that and Lucina. So Lucina is pretty good for beginners too.
I will say Sephiroth's reveal trailer was one of the more hype reveal trailers, I think, in Smash Brothers history. Like maybe even more so than Cloud.
Okay.
Because I did not see that coming, and it was done really, really well and cool. Where it's like, the final boss of the game's there, and everyone's like, because the whole time you're like, oh, it's a new character. Who's it going to be? And then it gets cut in half, and then it splits, and then his music starts coming in, and it's like just like the right amount of time. We're like, what? Because he was a character we weren't expecting, because like Final Fantasy was so poorly represented. Get 2 songs, and like it's like they were barely there. You didn't get any spirits. So with Square, I was like, well, we're not going to get, we'll never get more. So, but I was like, it's cool that Cloud's there. Like I wish I was more hype. I think that was the most hype trailer for me since Hero. Like it's really cool that Banjo and Kazooie was there, but like I don't really play those games. Whereas I really like Dragon Quest, so I was like, oh, this is really exciting. Like when they showed the other heroes, like
the Steve guy from Minecraft.
Oh yeah, see, I don't play Minecraft. It's actually funny. The first time I ever saw Minecraft, like we're getting off on a tangent here, but it's related to what we do. Is when we first opened, Sean, one of our founders, was playing it at the store, and I'm like, oh god, what is this horrible old looking game? And he's like, oh, it's this thing called Minecraft. You dig around and you build stuff. And I'm like, I had never heard of it, and I was like, all right, this seems like some goofy thing he'd be into, because it looks like an old game and it's like really simple. And I was like, no, that's probably something that like some people would be into, but like then it like blew up like later that year. And
Minecraft,
and I remember being like, why are kids into this? Like, it looks so ugly. Like, I didn't understand it. It's not a thing. It's a game I might actually be really into, but like I just never have played it. But it's cool. Like, it's cool that he's there. I think it's cool like that. Just like it was this indie game, and like now it's owned by Microsoft, and it's like same thing with Banjo, where like they're on a competing platform, but they're are able to get them in Smash Bros. I'm like, that's really cool. Because I'm not gonna say it's not iconic, because it definitely is. But yeah, like personally, like I don't know, I don't know who I want. Like really, like all of the characters I really wanted in Smash Brothers over the years are there. So it's like the big ones I wanted were like Mega Man, Little Mac, Simon Belmont, King K. Rool. Like, so I have all of them now. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know who I want next. I know we got 2 more DLC characters coming. Eggman would be amazing.
That'd be nice.
I'm not.
I've never actually thought about that, but that'd be pretty funny.
Oh yeah, because he could be like, oh god, Bowser Jr.-esque, where like his like little egg capsule like has all the different, like his side B can be the drill, his up B can like swing the thing back and forth. There's a lot of fun things you could do with him.
I think Sonic is the only character from the Sonic universe that's in Smash.
Yeah, like it's really crazy that they didn't get like a Shadow or Metal Sonic like Echo, because it seems like when they first introduced them, I'm like, that seems like the perfect like kind of thing, especially when they're like, oh, we have Ken and Ryu. I'm like, oh yeah, so third parties can get this too. Oh, and Richter and Simon. So it's like, all right, but Eggman's the next character from Sonic I want, like more than any of the other ones. Like more than like Tails would be cool, but like I don't know. I think in Smash Brothers he would be kind of lame. But yeah, I think Eggman could be a lot of fun, and then like I can have, Eggman and Bowser and like all these guys. Yeah, like that. I don't know. It would just be really cool. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else like upcoming you guys are like looking forward to?
Trying to think.
I mean, I know E3's around the corner, so we're probably gonna get like a million.
Yeah, I know we were talking about this yesterday, Scott, like, about like seeing what's up and coming. I would say Breath of the Wild 2. Just because I think that's coming out later this year, like end of this year.
I'm excited for that, but like we haven't heard anything about it since it was announced.
Yeah.
It's like hard to like.
It's just the name,
like hyped up.
bringing the attention.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new Zelda game, so I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Will there be more news on Breath of the Wild 2 before there's more news on Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I'll plant my flag on that. Unless it's the same direct, because they probably would end with Breath of the Wild 2.
They brought that up, like, oh my gosh, Metroid.
I know that the studio that was working on it, like, the project got scrapped, and then they brought it back to Retro Studios. So I had to start over from scratch. It's like, it's one of those things. And then a pandemic happened.
Yeah, it happens, but I'm trying to think what would be exciting. I'm always excited to see what random, like, you didn't hear about, like, kind of indie titles that get thrown out there. Like, I remember when Cuphead was first announced, like, 300 years ago.
Yeah.
In one of those E3s, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for this game to come out. And then, like, 4 or 5 E3s happened and nothing.
Yeah.
And then it came out, and it's like, oh, I understand why, but like that, I didn't expect Cuphead. I didn't know anything about Cuphead, and you see it. I look forward to those kind of things, and also, see what Nintendo does, because they'll always throw some crazy thing in there, like, oh, I got it. I just thought of it. Then the last Direct, they had the Sigma collection, the Ninja Gaiden Sigma.
Ninja Gaiden, yeah. I thought about you when they announced that.
I loved, like, the Ninja Gaiden Black series on the Xbox. I mean, Sigma is as good as you can get, because I think they didn't keep the stuff for the Black and stuff. I forget what the story is or something.
My understanding is, they don't have the source code for those games anymore.
Yeah, so they got to go with Sigma, it's sort of the same. It's a little different, but still, the fact that, again, I can bring my Switch anywhere and play Ninja Gaiden is awesome to me. So I look forward to that.
Castlevania is also getting a huge collection for Switch and PS4, like, pretty soon, I think.
Oh, is that different than the one that they already did? Because Konami did like 3 like anniversary collections or something. It was a Castlevania, all the Contra games, and like just a collection of their arcade stuff. I picked up the Castlevania one because it had a couple games that are really hard to get, and like Kid Dracula was never released here, so like
let me see. I can find it because I saw it on Limited Run's website.
But like Castlevania, like there's some there's some major like notable exceptions from there, because there's no Rondo of Blood, there's no Symphony of the Night. Like, it's all like the 8 and 16-bit games, more or less.
Yeah, so this one has Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, Super Castlevania 4, Castlevania The Adventure, Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, Castlevania Bloodlines, and then Kid Dracula.
Oh yes, I think that's the one that's the one that they've released. I guess it's cool they're doing a physical one.
Okay.
But Bloodlines is cool. That's one of the Genesis ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good collection if you don't have it, because it also comes with like digital art books and like tons of extra stuff too. And I think it's only like $40, but like Bloodlines is like a $60 game, so and like the Game Boy games are also really expensive. I think 2 Belmont's Revenge is expensive. I forget which one.
I think that's the more expensive one. I think it's the second one.
But it's a good deal, and like having it on the Switch is nice, because you can pick it up and take it wherever you want. But yeah, like speaking of collections though, I think that the next thing that would get me excited is like they did Zelda 3D All-Stars or HD All-Stars. I would love for them to put all 4 of them together, but they're not going to do it. If they do anything, they put Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD together, and then they do the 3DS remakes of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask together. But since we're again just getting Skyward Sword for $60, which the original one was $60, but it came with an extra controller and a CD, like a soundtrack. So it's like, it's hard for me to justify it. But it's cool because I love Skyward Sword. The motion controls are a big sticking point for people. So like maybe now that it'll have like normal controllers, like being an option for it, maybe more people will give it a shot. I will say the opening
hype about that game.
Yeah, I will say the beginning of it is slow. I think you were complaining about Twilight Princess the other day.
Yeah, I was talking about like the goat herding thing in Twilight Princess. I was in the butt.
Yeah. That's as far as I got.
Me too. You and me both.
Like, what is this? How do you do it?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Twilight Princess. I do think Skyward Swords is better because the characters you're involved with in like the tutorial part, like are integral characters throughout the story. Like you never go back to Ordon Village and Twilight Princess. Like there's like you don't care. Like I personally like that felt like the story of Twilight Princess in that world is very non-engaging. However, if you're just looking at just the dungeons alone, there's some of the better dungeons in the game in the series. It is worth pushing through. But I definitely get why like it's a turn off. So I'm curious to see if like these things reach a new thing. But like the way they handled Super Mario 3D All Stars really doesn't like fill me with a lot of hope. It's like, why didn't they put Galaxy 2 in there? Like it's such a weird omission. Especially because they already had to do, had figured there
leaves room for a 40th anniversary.
I hope I don't see that anytime soon because I'm the same age as Super Mario Brothers. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, and then I don't like that they made like it both the physical, like, all right, if you make the physical one like kind of a limited run, that's one thing, but like the digital version shouldn't have been limited. Like it's Mario, people will always pay for that. So I don't know. I think that's silly, but we'll see. They might re-release them individually or digitally, but they'll be like $30 each.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, Kendall, is there anything like you hope that they come out with?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I would really like to see see them like keep or not that I want them to churn them out for infinity, which I feel like they're going to do, but I'd like to see them complete the Final Fantasy VII remake stuff, so I can, because I made a deal with myself, I wasn't gonna buy it until it was just done. But I feel like we got years and years of those releases to go.
Yeah, well, I think they put out a trailer for the next one because I know it's got Yuffie in it, who's your favorite character.
I think it's just DLC though for the.
Well, isn't that how it's going to be for the rest of it, where it's like DLC chapters?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, sure, that makes sense.
I mean, John, you said you started playing the remake.
Yeah, I did. I'm like an hour into it. It's really good. I like it a lot. I mean, it's my introduction to Final Fantasy, so I don't have much to say about that series.
I'm not sure if it's going to be wholly indicative of, because every Final Fantasy game is kind of a different animal from each other. Like they all have different battle systems and stuff. And like
especially anymore.
Yeah. And like if you were to go play from the remake to the original one, it's a totally different game. Well, it's complete, so you can just play it. But I don't like how they are distributing it. I don't like how they've like changed the story up and everything.
Yeah, I'm okay with that though, because I've played like kind of like talking about randomizers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I played Final Fantasy VII so many times that if the remake was just the exact same thing, but like now it plays like Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy 15. That's not, I mean, that's kind of a bummer to me. I'd rather make it different.
I don't know. Like I'm of two minds of it, but it just comes down to like it's not something I'm super interested in, because I think the last time I played Final Fantasy VII, it is a game I've beaten several times, is you and I were playing it, and I think that's the one where we dated Barrett because we hadn't done that. I think we used the beginning weapons all throughout the game, because I definitely remember beating Sephiroth with the bus.
Yeah, see, even then. Yeah, even then it was like what? That was like what, 15 years ago, and we were still like
I don't think
trying to make it for ourselves.
Was that 15 years ago? Oh my god. It was at least 10.
It was more than 10. I haven't lived in New Jersey for like 10 years.
Were you still living in, I guess you had to have been. Because I think we beat it in like a week or something. It was, I mean, we also know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh man.
I had gotten the remake through PS Plus because it was for free like a month or two ago, I think. It's just hard for me to like justify spending $70 on the new one when like I got the remake for free.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird timing of like this one, because I think the new remake is like coming out in June, but they just put the PS4 remake for free like a month or two ago, I think, on PS Plus.
Well, so they're trying to like
So that timing's a little.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to get you into it. So like, now like, well, now I have
guess
to buy
so.
the
Yeah,
next
that makes
thing.
sense.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's going to be like a $300 game.
Yeah, that's why.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing that bothers me the
out
most.
for-
Yeah. Yeah. When
That
it's
$70
done,
price market is tough to.
like
tough
people
pill to swallow.
already had the problem with 60, and like that extra $10 is just enough to make people think about their purchase. So I think it's gonna do more damage than good. But it's like, like I Pokemon Snap, I think was like pushing it at $60. If it was 70, I would not have bought it. Because I think I was talking to some of you guys at the store, like up in the lead up to it. I was like, I kind of want to play it, but I was like, I don't know if I want $60. But like, I was like, it's never going to drop in price. It's a Pokemon game. I was like, I want to play it before I see all of this stuff just spoiled for me on the internet. I was like, you know what, I need something kind of chill. So I was like, I wanted to pick it up. I picked it up, that night when it came out after work. And I'm not like upset I did, but it's one of those things like if it was $40, I wouldn't have thought about it. Like it add another $10 on top of stuff, which it doesn't sound like a lot, like, oh, $10, that's just like not eating out for one night. But when you sometimes these games like you only play for like 10 hours and it's like you start to weigh like your cost like value, whereas like $15
Yeah.
I can play
Well, lately I've just been like,
hours. Yeah.
a game comes out and I just wait to go on sale.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I don't need day one stuff really anymore,
Yeah, exactly.
Back when I worked at GameStop, there was like a keeping up with the Joneses thing. Like we all had to play the new thing as it was happening. But like I'm glad we don't continue that culture at our store. Because it's that's
Well, y'all are a retro store, so
yeah, we have new stuff as well, but not we specialize more in the retro stuff.
The old man Joneses, the retro Joneses. I'll play retro games over newer games because for me, like I don't like to spend a lot of money. It's just it took so much for me to buy the Marvel Sony game for the PlayStation 4 that I really, really wanted, but it took so much for me to spend $60 on a game that I ended up 100%ing it like twice now on all the DLC, but it was so hard for me to do that. But I have no problem going, you know what? I just want to play video games. I want to put, my Super Nintendo together, put the Mini on or whatever, play, Link to the Past, play Super Metroid. And it fills the void of video gaming for me. Like I've never been like the new consoles for the new graphics and all that stuff. The graphics don't do anything because after a while they're just going to get me sick anyway. But so like for me, 16-bit or in that genre, I'm golden. I'll stick with it. We're good.
Yeah, I was about to say like, to me it always just comes down to gameplay. Like I care about that more than story or graphics or like any other aspect of the video game. I mean that other stuff is nice too when it looks good, but like, if the gameplay is not there, like I quickly lose interest. Like I haven't finished Jedi Fallen Order yet, but I think I need a new PlayStation 4 controller. I think that's the problem I'm encountering. As I'm at a part now where I need to like move a ball that's on fire around a waterfall to like throw it into a thing to burn it, and like I know what to do, and like my character is just not responding to my inputs right, so I got really frustrated and just stopped. But I think it might be the controller. So, but like I can't get that. Like they're nowhere to be found right now. So I don't know. I'll get back to that at some point. But like the story in it's good. It's just like again the gameplay like was not super, and I wasn't getting super into the gameplay. I like the exploration more in it than the combat. I'm not like a Demon Souls guy, and it's kind of like along those lines. Like I dread fighting animals in it, because like they screw me up so much more than like a million Sith. Because it's like all of a sudden this ram will just hit me and like it'll knock me off a cliff and I'll just be dead.
Yeah.
So like that, I have much bigger problems with like that stuff than like 40 stormtroopers coming at me. But yeah, it's a game I want to get back to. I just between that stuff, like with my controller issues and just like work, it's just like I haven't had time to get, because that's a game when I play it, like I need to sit down, I need to play it on, it's a console game, so I got to play it on TV. It's like I need to sit down for like a couple of hours to get enjoyment out of it. So it's one of those things like I can't like Snap, I can pick up and literally put down, like in between, like while I'm doing something else, I can just play it for like a minute or two. So yeah, like I find I generally go towards more those games now, or like Super Mario Maker. Like I can make a level while I'm doing something else, or I can just play a couple of levels of some like online and then I'm done. Or Smash Brothers, I can just jump into a couple of games and jump out. So, and I guess I'm sort of still playing Animal Crossing. Just jump in when there's new content for a couple of days and then I stop.
I find it hard to get into those kind of games.
Yeah, I can't either.
Yeah, like it's such a grind that like, and a commitment. I think that's the biggest issue that I have is like it's a commitment to play those kinds of games, which is why I never picked up Animal Crossing.
I mean, we talked about it when we talked about when we did the episode on the new Animal Crossing game. It's like I cheat and just time travel. So like I'm not waiting a whole day to get this building to be built. I'll just skip ahead. Which is frowned upon.
You think you know somebody, and then they come on a podcast and talk about cheating. You know somebody.
I know you got a stuffed Celeste over your shoulder because I know your girlfriend's really into that game as well.
Her favorite.
That's a respectable favorite. Celeste is pretty great, but I don't know. So I guess that's what we're playing right now. This will probably be like Kendall and I did new comic book recommendations. This will probably be a topic we revisit like fairly frequently. I'll just rotate out guests and whatnot. Just because it's fun to see what people are doing and playing. Like everyone's playing something so different. And get some different personalities on. Obviously, if there's like a big game everyone's playing, we'll probably just do an episode. Like we're gonna definitely do a Breath of the Wild 2 episode when we can finally get our mitts on that game.
Couple years.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully not, but it's a Zelda game. I'm used to waiting like 10 years in between them, and like endless delays. Like it's amazing that Breath of the Wild was a launch title for the Switch. But yeah, so I think that'll do us for this episode. Unless you guys got any final thoughts on something you want to bring up.
Can't think of much right now.
So I guess we're good. Hey Kendall, where can they find your stuff?
Oh, my stuff. Just go on Instagram, Star Savior Bunny. Comic me and my wife do. Yeah, go there.
Joe, and you said you're starting to stream with Poorly Played Games again?
Yeah. Nick and our group has been streaming throughout the pandemic, but I think as we said, we're getting the band back together and getting into the swing of it. You can find us on Twitch at Poorly Played Games. So just go into Twitch, type in Poorly Played Games. We play all sorts of stuff. So lots of retro. And then on Saturdays, Nick plays a lot of social games. So if you want to have interaction, you want to play Jackbox, Among Us, and stuff like that, that's where you would want to be Saturday nights.
Yeah, and those are usually a lot of fun.
Find me at the new store, Level Up in beautiful, scenic Summers Point, New Jersey.
Yes, that was the next thing. Joe, John, and I are now also. That's going to be our home store. Occasionally, you will still see us at the Hamilton Mall location. In fact, I was there this morning to help get comics ready for both stores. But yeah, we're going to be there basically all the time. But yeah, check us out, Summers Point, New Jersey. We've got all the same stuff that you know and love from us for years, except now we're going to have expanded board game sections. We're going to have all kinds of like so much more room for new activities and events. The new pinball section looks amazing, and it's only going to get better.
It does, looks really good.
I think it's the crown jewel of the store right now. There's an image for it on our
machine in there.
Oh man, I can't wait for people to see the change machine. It looks so awesome. But like just that picture of the machines on with all of their new LED lightings and stuff when we had the lights off in the rest of the store, it looks so awesome. We've got like, tables and chairs and like a whole setup there. So I know the plan is we're going to try to get the pinball league started up again soon. Most of us have been getting vaccinated and stuff, so like we can start doing more stuff. We've been open for a week now as of this recording, so there's lots of cool things that can happen. In the coming up, but we're all like every day. Like I just got the back issues and dollar books set up at the store, so like we're constantly like adding new things. We will probably have retro games and stuff soon. The only hold up with that is I need people to sell them to us. I can't just take everything from the Hamilton Mall store because they need to have things too. But it's coming along. I'm really excited. It's a big step for us. I'm sure we might do another. Last year we did our birthday episode where we talked about the store's 13 years. We might do one where we talk about, the last year, as a follow up, because we had things to talk about like with the pandemic and the new store. So, and what we're going to try to do in the coming year. So we'll see what's going on with that. I'll make that decision in August. But so thanks guys for joining me. Thanks for talking about video games. So that'll do us for this episode. So until next time, be safe.